Welcome to a few basic hemming stitches with Monluwi design. Here are a few hemming stitches that you can use to hem skirt, pants, blouse, coat. These are the ones we're going to work on today because these three here, the running stitch, the back stitch, and the split stitch, were shown in a previous video. This is the whip stitch, this is the catch stitch, and this is the blind stitch. I call it the blind stitch because you can't see it. Okay, let's move these aside. And these three are what we're going to focus on. This one is going to go first, the whip stitch. Now this stitch, I remember my mother showing me how to do this stitch. This stitch is used to stop frayed ends, secure seams, seam allowances rather. See these two pieces going together. I'm going to whip stitch them, and you of course make your knot in your thread, and then you go in and you just go to the back, pull it to the front, then go a little bit ahead of the previous hole, and again go in the back. That first stitch was to secure the thread, and you keep doing that all the way to the end, and I prefer to whip stitch it closed a couple of times in the same hole. Then I draw the thread through the seam so it can't be seen, which you will see when I get to the end. Right here is where I run the needle through the seam and pull it out about an inch in, inch, half inch, through. So it's not seen on either side. It's basically hidden in between the stitches on the inside between the fabric. You pull it a little tighter than need be, and then cut it so it, after you cut it, it could retract into the seam. You see how that disappears? Now, this could be used to hold a seam together. You can also utilize it with another stitch, which I will be using the not the back stitch, the split stitch. No, I'm using the back stitch, I'm sorry. The back stitch. So the whip stitch along with the back stitch makes a great seam. a great and a strong seam. So you begin as you did in the previous video. You come up, you make your knot in your thread, you come up, you do it again just to secure, and then you go the length of your stitch. Again, I apologize for the video being a little off, out of focus rather, out of sight. So you make that stitch and you come up, then you go back into the hole for that first stitch, the second hole rather of the first stitch, then you repeat all the way to the end. This is the back stitch, as you see right there. And that goes all the way to the end, and then you secure in a similar fashion as you did with the whip stitch. And this is pushing up. You pull it tight like you did the others and cut it so it can retract when pulled out like there. And that is a really nice strong stitch. Now I'm going to cut this so you can see what it looks like on the other side, which would be the right side. This would be the wrong side and this is the right side. Obviously when you're using regular thread, it's going to look a little neater, but I use big thread so it can be seen. And that is your nice closure. 2 stitches in one. These stitches, these neck stitches, are the catch stitch and the blind stitch. I know it's a name for it. I forget what the popular name for it. I call it the blind stitch. Blind hem stitch. You make your knot, of course. I do. Now, when you're hemming, it's usually in a circle because of a pants hem, a skirt, a dress, a blouse, a sleeve. So picture this as a circle, and you would secure that knot in the seam of your pant when you're going in the round. Now, normally you would start from left to right. I, unfortunately, with this sample, yes, we shall call this the way it looks. Okay, this is supposed to be the X look. Anyway, and this is the blind stitch. I call it the blind stitch because I can't remember the name. But it's blind because you can't see it from the outside or from the inside. See? Boom. Look at that. Look how neat this is. This is a great stitch for dress pants, skirts, dresses, sleeves, shirts, shirt hems. And that one was supposed to be X's, as I said, so we're going to do it the right way with this sample. You fold it down a little bit and then fold it down the length of your hem. And you catch the end like that with your thread knotted. If this was a seam, you would put the seam, attach the thread to the seam, which is usually how you do it with pants and skirts. You attach it to the seam. Pants, skirts, any garment. And you catch a little, because it's called the catch stitch, you catch a little couple of pieces of thread, like two, from the one side. That's the side that where you turn it around, that's the fabric. And you can catch a little bit more when you grabbing the hem. And you always put you're going from left to right, and you always put the needle going in from the right to the left, so you can keep that X look. You see? So you catch, I apologize again for going out of focus. And you catch that bottom piece, and then you go back and catch the top piece. And watch your placement of the thread, because this is how your X is formed. I will come back and focus in a few stitches, so you'll get the point. Like right here. See how the thread is at the top. Well, you catch that piece of fabric, the two tiny threads from the inside, and pull that, and then you catch tiny pieces on the left side. It doesn't have to be too tiny because that's the inside. And then again, you catch tiny pieces right there. That's the side that you will see when you're wearing the garment. On the other side of that, the white. And then you come down and you piece of that. Now you see when you're catching that, you can get a little bit more than two or three threads because that's the inside. And then you catch one or two pieces of thread from that side. And then you secure that as I secured other samples. Now the other side, check the other side out. Boom, look at that, you can't see anything. This is the way it's supposed to be. Right there, that's the thumbs up. Okay, our next sample is the blind stitch. And you begin that on the right side. You honestly could do, yeah, on the right side. When I say right side, I mean going from right to left. You begin by putting the thread, the needle in that part right there on the end like you did the other one. Flatten that, and then you fold that top down. This is so you could catch both sides easily. Then you catch a couple of pieces of string, and then you pull through. This is the same thing as the other one as far as catching a couple of pieces of thread for that side. Then this side, you catch a little bit more, and you go up a little ways, staggering, because it's almost a running stitch in that it's just going in and out, that's all, and going in a straight line-ish. And again, catch a few threads of that a little ways back from that stitch that you just did. You pull it through slowly because you don't want to tear the thread from the other side. And then you catch another piece. Not catch, because I'm going to confuse the two stitches. And then you pull that through that piece of fabric right there, the length of the stitches. Try to be consistent. And you do that all the way to the end, and then secure as I have secured the other stitches. Now, if you're doing this on a garment, you would secure it on the seam, because you will have a circle, and the circle is closed with the seam. When you get to this point, before you secure it, you want to pull it, but not too tight, because you want to make sure those threads aren't being seamed well. You don't want to pop anything. Make sure it's flat. And then you secure that edge, and then tie thread as per other instructions that I just said. And now here is a side by side of the sample and the example that I just did. Boom, look at that. See how neat that looks? Your dress pants do not have to look crazy. Ladies, hook your men up, or your women, your kids, your children, aunts, uncles, men. And here is a sample, a decorative sample of the French knot and those regular stitches, the running stitches used as X's. This is really cute on blouses or denim jackets. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed my videos.